think Dak learned the most by just kind of being on the sideline and watching how the offense and also how the defense was playing and going, okay, now when I get back in, I can have a better understanding of things. Do you think he saw?
I think he learned that he wanted to get back out on the field. No, I think anytime you can kind of step back a step and watch things and get a different perspective, I think it always helps. And obviously he wants to be in there. We want him to be in there. But if you look for a silver lining, I don't know what there really is because you always want to be out there. But there is a little bit that you can see and watch how the guys interact, watch the flow of the game with different calls, how they play out, and you kind of get those mental reps, so to say.
Do you think defenses are playing the deep ball a little bit different than they did maybe a few years ago, and how have y'all had to adjust to so?
Well, I think defenses are always evolving as are offenses, and it's the chess game that's always played, and they're looking at ways to attack offenses. We're looking at ways to attack them. So you're always looking at, hey, where can we gain an advantage against them? And, they're looking at us, whether it's to create pressure, to force the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, to play softer in the back end, to play shell, try and make you sustain 8 or 10 play drives. Everybody's always trying to play that game. You're trying to, find that fine line of when you can cross it and do something that you haven't done before and create an advantage for yourself.
How would you explain how you and Kellen have been able to deal with the different changes in personnel because of health issues? And it seems that almost every other week you got somebody missing. You got to do something different, it seems.
Well, I think, you give the credit to Mike and Kellen. They've done an outstanding job, obviously, with our roster management. And that's part of the game, and like I said, you got to live in the moment, next guy up mentality. And, you look at, what are we going, 4 wide receivers, 4 tight ends last week, and 3 back. I mean, you just look at what it is. You say, we're going to play the game to win it. And you go out there and you do the best job you can for the 60 minutes, find a way to win a game. That's all you're trying to do.
What does having CD in the backfield do for you guys, and what kind of look is that? I'm sure the defense is like, what's going on here?
Well, I think it shows his versatility as a player. And anytime you have a player with his capabilities to, create explosive plays and to create a problem for the defense from a matchup standpoint, you can move him into different places. It's hard on them. Talk about the chess game, because if he's always lining up in the same spot and they know where he is, they're able to usually devise a plan to kind of take him away from the game. Well, if you start moving him around more, it creates more problems for them.
How much better is this offense when Dak is running some? I know maybe you hold your breath every time he does it, but as an offense, is it better when he is actually showing that he can go and get first downs and touchdowns?
Well, I would think if you talk to any defensive coordinator, the threat of the quarterback run always creates a problem for them. Obviously, we're on the offensive side. You love the element of quarterback run, yet you also got to weigh the risk you're taking when you do this. So I think there's a little give and take there. There's the right situations where you want to use that, and then when you use it and it's effective, then now you've created. They've got to defend it whether or not you're going to use it or not.
Even if you didn't watch the game on Sunday, you can just look at the stats and see that Dak played well. But what was something that maybe stood out to you going from obviously his first game back, the second game back, that maybe you really liked that he did?
Like I said earlier, I think going through what he went through, being out for 5 weeks, you come back, we're on a shorter week preparation, come off the Philly night game, got a shorter week of prep, trying to get back in the flow of playing. And it's not like you have a long training camp where you can prepare, and know what's coming and when it's coming. So he continues to get better each and every day to me. And it's just, getting back into the motion and getting the timing and the rhythm and everything. But I think still he's got a lot of great football, better football than where he's playing right now ahead of him.
You ever hurt your thumb before?
No, not to his extent, that's for sure.
How problematic is that when, for what you have to do? I mean, center, exchange, handing off, all those things.
I think you'd have to ask him how it affected him individually. I do know this, though. Anytime, as we all know, you take part of your body out of use for an extended period of time, and then you go back to using it. And, for any of our guys to use it at the level they have to use that on a Sunday to be effective as players, and you're talking fractions of seconds, and I mean they're such highly tuned, precision players that I think there's going to be an adjustment.
What's the longest quarterback sneak you've ever seen before?
That one had to rank up there pretty good. That was a classic all time. I don't know if I've seen one go through the B and then bounce, and then Hendo kind of ran the drag and went behind the guy, and you had a couple guys still outside. They were sitting on the perimeter. It was an interesting play.
Any credit to the offensive line, I guess, for pushing?
The whole line blowing the hole. Kellen drew it up perfectly, just like this. Everything we thought he could squeeze through there, bounce to the outside, we get an explosive run. No, I think, great tribute. Our guys obviously ran the football very well the other night. Line blocked well, backs ran hard. Thought Dak did a good job of getting us in the right plays, and receivers on the perimeter. A lot of times that goes untalked about. People don't talk about. It's a big part of the running game, especially when you get to this level, and defensive backs and safeties fit the run so well. When your receivers play physical on the perimeter, those extra yards they show up, and that's where you get the explosive runs too.
I apologize if they asked you this one before, but the pick at the end of the half, do you like the aggressiveness, or would you rather see it understand time and score a little bit and where you guys are and what you need?
Well, we want to be aggressive, but we've got to be smart, and obviously, turn the ball over in our own end in a 2-minute type situation is not what we're looking to do. It's just something that we just got to continue to work at, and obviously, you don't want to be in that situation. You don't want to put the defense out there on a short field with, I think it was 40 seconds left when we pulled the ball.